Hey, what is up, tech heads? In today's article, we're going to be going over the basics of a cover letter and what you need to know to update your resume when going out and making your next job posting. Whether you're someone who is just creating your resume or recreating your cover letter for the first time, or if you're someone who just wants a few new tips to update your cover letter, we hope to have what you are looking for. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. But before that, if you could please go ahead, hit that notification bell or that subscribe button so we could give you more content similar to this for future videos. You could also find our other videos where we have certification prep information to help you get the best course that you need to help you pass your next certification. Without further ado, let's begin. All right, so we have a few articles lined up here as well, just so you could take a look at these. This reference material we first have is from the Muse. Both these websites have different tips as well that we may or may, we list some of the tips on these websites, but we try to utilize just whatever we felt was the most useful during our own ventures and our own applications. We have seen a lot of recurring stuff that we mentioned in today's video from these websites. They also include actual examples. So if you're more of a hands-on person, you could utilize the examples listed in both these websites. So the first tip of the day we want to emphasize is when creating your cover letter, be sure that you want to create something new every time. When creating your resume, you want to tweak information, but keep the information generally the same when utilizing a cover letter. However, you want to make it personal. And by that, we mean, of course, going on LinkedIn using the actual recruiter's name. We mentioned that in a article that we listed actually on our website in the daltoncloud.com website. So if you want, you could go ahead and look at some of our other previous resources and articles that we have there. So the next step, when creating your cover letter, try not to reuse information from your resume. This is a mistake I found myself doing previously when I have submitted cover letters and resumes in the past. I've probably gotten one response, and it was not for a role that I actually wanted. It was just something I wanted to try applying to see if I qualified. And they even told me I only qualified because of what I put in the resume as my certifications and my credentials. So with that in mind, it's never a good idea to just copy paste your information in there. They could tell it's lazy when they actually start looking at your cover letter, and it just doesn't look that well for you when you're applying yourself. Another tip is to be sure to include endorsements from previous employers and peers. This is not something you could do. This is not something you could show off during your resume, but it is something you can advertise and display in a cover letter, similar to how LinkedIn has skills and endorsement section on their profile. The last tip we want to make sure to go over is make sure that you're emphasizing everything you write. Think of it this way. When you have a person in the interview, you could feel the jitters as you walk into the room. You could hear how excited they are when they talk about certain subjects to show their passion. Now you need to make sure that in your cover letter, you can express those same feelings and those same emotions in your writing. Now, if you don't have a lot of writing or English experience, this isn't, not necessarily English, but a lot of writing experience, this is not going to be something that's going to be possibly normal to you or something you're not used to. So I highly suggest going to a couple of the links that we're going to provide from these websites and look at the cover letter examples that they have so you can see how they emphasize, and don't exactly copy it, but try to do as closely as you can to a similar format with your cover letter. Even if you're not an expert, you could still fake it like the rest of us. I should say. So these are all the tips that we had today. There were only 4 tips that we wanted to help show you to make sure that you have your next cover letter appear in front of the hiring manager to help you get to where you need to in your career and make you stand out among all the other applicants. Without further ado, this has been Dalton Cloud. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. If you had other resources that you wanted us to utilize, maybe some examples of cover letters or some examples of tips that you want to see or you think we missed, we'd love for you to leave a comment in the video description below so we can be sure to update this and update any future articles that we release on our website. Without further ado, thank you for watching and you have a great rest of your day.